Hello newbies. I say newbies because I'm making a video here about the D-Scanner for newbies, just because it's a vital tool when you're out and about. Most people, once you've been in Eve for quite a while, will already know how to use it, so you guys can click stop. You're probably not going to learn anything new here, but it's just for the guys that don't know how to use it, how important it is and how it might save their life. So let's move on. The video is going to be about this fella here, D-Scan window. This is what it looks like. If you don't have one, it's because you've clicked the X. What you want to do is go down here, click your scanner, click your directional scan, and it will bring the window up. So what does D-Scanner do? It's a directional scanner. And effectively it's going to send out a little I don't know, a radar beam, something like that, that will bounce off anything that's out in space, and tell you that there's something out there, and it'll tell you what it is, but it won't tell you whether it's friendly or not, and it won't tell you how far away it is. Well, there's something you can do about that. So you should be using this all the time. The video, again, it's based around faction warfare. There's an awful lot more you can do with D-Scan. You know, some more offensive stuff to look for ships that aren't at a known location. We're not going to worry about that today. We're just going to worry about how it relates to faction warfare. So currently I'm inside a Plex. At the moment I'm inside a small, and I'm constantly D-scanning at 360 degrees at 1 AU, and the reason I'm doing that is all of these complexes are what's called dead space. Dead space is somewhere that the only way in... hello, let's get out of here. Right, I'm getting out because I don't know who he is, but that's a perfect example of how important the D-Scan is. Okay, so where were we? Let's talk about the settings. Okay, on your D-Scan you will see three sections, I guess. Use active overview settings, range and angle, and there's some numbers there for the range. And effectively what this will enable you to do is to look almost wherever you want, however far you want, to get some stuff to some information to come back to you to make your life a lot easier. Settings, you need to have it on. Use active overview settings. What that will do is that will use whichever open tab you've got on your overview. Danny Z is online. I think he's a war target. This will use whichever tab you've got set. So for instance, if we do a big wide scan there and we have it on all, you're going to see how much of a mess this is. So if we do a scan now, all of a sudden you can see I'm absolutely chock full of rubbish, and I'd have no chance at trying to figure out where's a ship on that. However, if I have it on my main PvP tab and click it, you'll see all of a sudden all I see is Stargates, a wreck and a couple of ships. So active overview settings will just work on whichever tab you've got open. One thing to note, let's open up the overview. It will only work on your tabs, it will only work on the types of things that are out there. It won't work on states, i.e. you cannot just scan for friendly ships or just scan for enemies. You're going to see a ship and that's all. It also won't tell you whose ship it is. So for instance, that Kestrel, we don't know whose ship that is, because it doesn't line up with the name. That name there is the name that he has given it to that ship, and so it could be any one of these guys. We don't know, which is why we always tell you when you go out on a roam, change the name of your ship. You don't want your ship name to be the same as your actual name, because then it's easy to figure out. So use active overview settings, that sorts that out. Range, this varies everywhere from the shortest one that we've got is 1,000,000 kilometers, which is what we use in and around the gates, right the way up to 14 AU. An AU, just in case you want to know, I don't know why, it's 150 million kilometers. And the angle is just, as it says, 360. That's going to look up,
User
down,
joined
left,
your
right,
channel.
forward, backwards. It's going to look absolutely everywhere. And it narrows down in degrees until you get to 5 degrees. The important thing to note about this is it's irrelevant to where your ship is pointing. This is just where your camera view is pointing as to where the scan goes. So if I go down to 5 degrees, I can't believe my client, I thought my client crashed then. If I go down to 5 degrees and I'm scanning that direction, I'm not going to see, oh, my client has crashed. What a nightmare. I'll come back. Okay, hopefully my router is now sorted and we won't drop connection. The degrees that we work on, we start at 360. In Faction Warfare, to be fair, most of the time you're going to use 360 or you're going to use 5 degrees, which is, I like to think of it as a telescope. It zooms right in on something. But there's every angle in between. Occasionally you might use 15 degrees. But normally 5 is what you'll use, and that's just so that you can look at an object. Just in case I didn't cover it in the last video, turn your camera tracking position on so that when you look at something, when you click something, it takes your camera angle to there. But effectively when you look, so we're going to look at the small outpost, give it a scan, and all we see there is a wreck. Let's look at, we're too far away from the medium, so let's look at the gate. Nothing on the gate but a wreck. The sun, nothing but the sun. Let's see if we can hightail it over to SS3. Does that take me nearer to the gate or not? And is it going to spin me around? No, it doesn't. So let's align to SS4, see if that takes me nearer the gate. Yeah, that's going to take me. So let's hack it over to, say, spot 1. Now also with your D-scan you can still use this while you're flying in space. So I click on that, we're 17 away, we're too far away, but as we approach we'll get it. So look, there we go. Incursus and Phantasm. There's 2 of them. I'm going to make a guess that it's these 2 guys, because if it was those 3 they might be together. It could be the 2 neutral, there's 3 neutral guys, but there's not really any reason for them to be in a plex unless they're just looking for PvP targets. So I think that is Sea and Skull, who will probably be Stay Frosties. Hello Stay Frosties. They're in an Incursus and a Phantasm, so I'm not going to tackle them. From the D-scan window you can also right click, show info, so you can just have a look and see what you're going to be up against. Right click, show info. So, oh, what the hell is that? Oh, very nice. Either way, I'm not going to go in there and fight them, but that's your degrees. So in Faction Warfare generally you're going to be, as soon as you come through a gate, you're going to be 360 at full scan. Give it a scan, make sure you're on a setting that works. I also have a D-scan setting so that actually all it's going to show me is ships. Oh, and he has buggered off. Oh, and actually so is one more target. So Incursus, what's that? Incursus, can we fight that? Tech 1 frigate? I think we probably can. Should we go and have a go? Should we try and end the video with a death? So let's go to scan again, medium, scan. Oh, here's Phantasm's back. Ah, right, okay, war targets have gone, so all of a sudden these 2 guys probably are friendlies, so we won't go and hassle them. Okay, so that's your D-scan in a nutshell. You can change these to whatever distances you want. Generally you'll use telescope view at long range or whatever ranges you decide. I hope that has been of some help. The last tip I'm going to give you is about your local window. If it doesn't look like mine, you might want to change it to be so, because core, for instance, I have just so I can see everybody's pretty face. But in local you don't want to see the face, you just want to be able to catch out your peripheral vision, how they line up to you, and you want as many people in there, well, you don't want as many people in there as possible, but you want to see everybody. And the way you do that is click on your little people, make sure you show infantry is off, because that'll just show you dust bunnies and nobody wants to see them. and put it onto show compact member list, which will get you a local window to look like that. I hope that helps. Leave some feedback or ask me some questions in game, and I'll catch up with all you guys later. Thank you.